Hey, what's up my YouTube friends? I'm out here today with another knife review for you. Yes, it's a large fixed blade. Who would have thunk it? Alright, let's check this out. Here are the stats on the knife. This is the brand, however you choose to pronounce that. Ba-Kor. 8.4 inches in blade length. 6 millimeters thick. The steel is DC 53. HRC 58. It has wood handle scales, a leather sheath. It comes with a large fire steel. This is my Ka-Bar BK9, which I've had for quite a while. Mine's a bit beat up because I've used it a lot. What are the differences? Well, as you can see, the BK9 is a little bit longer, right? So they're not exactly the same, definitely. But this has a longer handle, right? So I don't know, if you have really big hands, this would be more comfortable, right? Now the Ka-Bar is 1095 high carbon steel, right? And this is that DC 53 Japanese super tool steel. They're both actually good steels for this application. But yeah, that's the comparison. Oh, and the biggest factor, the price. This thing, anywhere from $100 to $115, sometimes more. And like I said, this was $68. So is this meant to be a poor man's BK9? Well, kind of, but I can tell you a lot of people that own this Ka-Bar are going to buy this, just because if you like that blade shape and that grind, you're gonna like this one too. And the price is pretty nice for what you get. Another useful comparison. All right, this is another large blade from that same brand. I just got this yesterday. These have only recently gotten in country. They have them in the Amazon warehouse now, right? So they had this listed as the Liger Shark 2. I think they might mean Tiger Shark, but whatever. It's another big blade from that brand. Now they had this one listed as the Polar 2. Right, so do they mean polar bear? Not sure, but whatever. I mean, you can see where they're going with their line of knives, right? Let's look at the sheath. So it is a stitched leather sheath, has a belt loop there, has a diagonal retaining strap there. It does hold it in. You got to be careful because this is very sharp, and you can cut this, right, as you're pulling it out, right? So you want to be careful with that. So as you can see, this has a true full tank construction, almost a 1/4 inch thick, wood handle scales. It has a tubed lanyard hole right there, a slightly extended tang with a hammering surface. It's got a little bit of jimping right here. The blade length, 8.4 inches. Now it has this sort of like a fractal-like pattern on the finish. That's pretty nice. Now, I've already actually tested this out. I hammered this through a lot of firewood, and I will be rolling that in at the end of the video. But notice the finish is still pretty nice. I repolished it. You see the contour of this handle. It gives you a secure grip. I have large size hands, and it's good for me. You have a little bit of a choil right there. This is a partial flat grind and a high bevel, right? The bevel's right there. The steel on this is DC 53. That is a Japanese super tool steel. It's superior to D2. It has extreme toughness, good edge retention. Now, overall, this thing is a beast. I mean, most people don't carry a knife this large, right? Some will say, hey, maybe not the most practical. Well, that depends. The Ka-Bar BK9 is pretty popular, right? This is kind of like that, but it's a little bit shorter, believe it or not. All right, cutting a few things with this. That was easy. Some paracord, some seatbelt strap type material. I'm going to push it through. All right, that was a push through, and now I'll slice through. And yeah, it's quite sharp. Stretchy bike tire tubing. Piece of a box. That's pretty good for almost a 1/4 inch thick blade. So this is a large heavy knife, so you can do some chopping if you have to. You could chop a seat onto a log, or you could chop your way through some medium-sized branches. I don't really know much about this brand at all. I've never spoken to them. I bought these to try them out for you. Alright? I looked up reviews of these knives. I couldn't find any reviews. Alright, so if you're a reviewer and you can't find any reviews of something, well, you know what to do. You should check it out. Checking this out for my viewers. I already have as many large knives as I need. Essie Hunglis, Ba-Kor BK9. I have the old K-Bar Heavy Bowie that they don't make anymore. A lot of big knives. The competition chopper, right? Man, this thing is sharp. But just because I have enough big blades, that doesn't mean I don't want more, right? If someone offered you more dragons, would you not take them? Big knives like this can do a little chopping. I'm glad the weather's getting colder. I like that. I like it cold. Don't like the heat. If I wanted it to be hot and humid, I'd go back to the Philippines, where my relatives are. This is making good progress. This thing came very sharp. Alright, so if you got to, there you go. Now YouTube, this is a time in the video where I thank everyone who has made a special effort to leave comments on my videos, because that really helps with the algorithm and it really helps circulate the videos around so that new people can find the channel. So I appreciate all who take the time to leave a comment, and I mean, you guys have done awesome. Keep it up. Keep it up if you have time, because that's a great way to show support. So this is right out of the box. Wow. Alright, fun with this big ass knife. I'm gonna cut this high. It's because it's easier. There you go. Alright, 2 for you. Adios to 3. Now this actually came with a fire steel, and for once it's a large fire steel, right? Not the chintzy ones. And it came with this striker. Okay, so it came with a striker. Is that their way of telling me that they don't want me to use the spine as a striker? Alright, fair enough. I mean, if you give me a good striker like that. Alright, let's test this out. There you go. So it worked well. It worked well. Now I made extra sure to extinguish that fire completely. That's where the fire was. It was right there. Because at this time of year, you don't want to mess around. So that's all the wood that we split with this. That birch was pretty easy, but that stuff was nasty. Ah, there you go. It's like breaking the stump. You see that? There you go, that stuff was tough. Damn. Yeah. Making progress. Yeah, that was a tough piece of wood. How's the edge? Oh, you can see for yourself. There's no chipping. There's no rolling. There's a few, you can see the witness marks. That just adds character, right? That just adds character to the blade. A little bit of bark stains, which I can just polish out. But the edge, look at that edge. That tool steel that they're using, that's some tough stuff. Also, this is fairly thick. This is just a tough knife. I do a lot of splitting. We do a lot of splitting around here, testing out hatchets and all sorts of splitters, really. But if you want to use a large knife for this, I'd say this is one of the best for that. I pounded this thing through a lot of wood. The edge looks pristine, but I guarantee I smashed on this. Do I feel like I got my money's worth? Yeah, I do. It's a knife, okay? But it's also a mini hatchet and a mini machete. You feel me? And it's a splitting fro if it has to be, right? And it's a hammer if it has to be, right? And it's a combat weapon if it had to be, right? So it can do a lot, is what I'm saying. So overall, I'm pleased with it. I think they did a good job. They did a good enough job that I'm going to continue to check out stuff from this brand. Yeah, I think they did a great job with this. I mean, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I definitely recommend this knife for the price if you're in the market for a large fixed blade. I mean, extra large, I would say.